The interstellar station loomed in the void, its massive hull reflecting faint starlight as distant engines thrummed like a heartbeat. For most, the station was just another waypoint. But for Rylan Cale, a human veteran, it had become home, a place where he could finally be valued for his skills rather than his species. Veterans like him were scarce. Survivors of wars that spanned countless systems, their existence often overlooked or pitied. Yet here, his expertise was indispensable, especially to the dragon-like commander who had taken a peculiar interest in him. Captain Lyra Sereth was legendary, scales glimmering with shifting hues of emerald and sapphire. She could dominate any battlefield with intellect, instinct, and sheer presence. While most of her crew followed her out of fear or respect, Rylan had earned her trust, and that was rarer than any medal in his collection. With him, she expected excellence, but she also challenged him in ways no one else dared. The week had been unusually calm. Rylan had spent long hours recalibrating drones, checking engine cores, and maintaining his modest quarters aboard the station. Lyra, meanwhile, moved through communications logs, ran tactical simulations, and occasionally appeared to remind him that discipline was as vital as skill. The previous night, he had assisted her with engine recalibrations on her shipper process, exhausting enough to push him to the brink. He had departed at sunrise, certain he had completed every task. Yet now Lyra's shadow loomed over him in the hangar, her wings folded like folded blades, her voice cutting through the quiet hum of the station. "You left something behind on my ship last night," she said, each word deliberate, resonant, and impossible to ignore. Rylan's chest tightened. I thought I had everything in order, Captain," he replied cautiously. Every panel, every circuit, every calibration tool had been accounted for, or so he believed. Lyra's gaze locked onto him, golden eyes sharp and unyielding. "Double check," she said softly, yet there was a weight behind it that brooked no argument. He nodded, swallowing unease. Following her aboard, he traced his steps, the ship's corridors unfamiliar in their silence. Then he noticed it, a small data pad tucked beneath the engine console, overlooked in his fatigue. It contained sensitive tactical simulations, critical for fleet operations. "I left this," he murmured, holding it out. Lyra's claws brushed his hand as she took it light, almost intimate. Her eyes softened for a fraction of a second, a subtle warmth that made his heart race. "This isn't merely a tool," she said quietly, her tone unusually personal. "This data could dictate the fate of entire colonies if mishandled. Oversights are dangerous." Rylan swallowed. "I understand, Captain. It won't happen again." Lyra studied him for a long moment before letting out a controlled, almost steel-like sigh. "You are more than a veteran, Cale. Your judgment is rare. Fleets collapse because of those who underestimate the little things. You are not one of them." A strange pride stirred within him. Praise from ordinary humans had been rare. From a dragon chief, nearly unimaginable. "I rely on humans more than anyone suspects," she continued softly. "Most of the galaxy sees you as expendable, fragile. But you endure." Rylan shook his head, humility washing over him. "I do it because it matters, Captain. Not for recognition." She glanced at him, silence stretching. Then, without another word, she moved to the command deck, Rylan following with care. The display hummed to life, projecting patrol routes and threat simulations. "Review these," she said sharply. "Point out errors. suggest improvements. Mistakes here cost lives. Leaning over the console, Ryland's mind raced. These projections, they're complex. You trust me to find flaws. Lyra's lips curled slightly. I trust the human who notices the small, crucial details. Hours passed. He found miscalculations, suggested alternative maneuvers, refined fleet strategies. Lyra watched, occasionally correcting, occasionally silent, their minds syncing with a precision that transcended species. When they finished, the fleet's plans were stronger than ever. Lyra reclined, wings spreading slightly, golden eyes bright. You've done exceptionally well. Most would overlook critical details, not you. You endure and excel. Ryland straightened, pride blooming in his chest. Thank you, Captain. It means a lot coming from you. Lyra's sharp features softened briefly, almost tenderly. Remember, Kale, you are more than a veteran. Here, you are essential. Even small actions can ripple across the galaxy or choices. Your skills, they change everything. Nodding, Ryland felt a sense of purpose he hadn't known in years. This was no longer just about repair work or tactical expertise. He belonged. He mattered. As he left the ship, he realized the forgotten datapad had been more than an oversight. It was a reminder. Even in a vast, indifferent galaxy, a single human could make a difference. Endure, excel, be seen. For the first time in decades, Ryland Kale felt that he had truly found a place among the stars, one Dragon Chief. One fleet, one mission at a time. The galaxy remained vast and perilous. But as long as humans like Ryland existed, and as long as leaders like Lyra recognized their worth, hope endured. And so began the story of Ryland, Kale, and Lyra, Seraph, **.